All right, everybody. There we go. Awesome. So thank you guys for joining me today. We're going to go through some pretty amazing things, amazing pieces, and I hope that you get some amazing insight, amazing insight from what I'm going to be sharing with you today, because it is really life-changing information. I've been doing this stuff for a long time, playing with the realm of the subconscious, playing with, I've been into bodies and changing the bodies, and I've tried all the diets, all the exercises, all the everything that you can even imagine. Since I was, 12 years old, probably, when I started doing aerobics. Way back when. So fast forward a long time, over 25 years or so. I've gathered so much information that is so helpful to anyone who is battling with their body. And I mean like a chronic battle. Like, it's because when we have battles with our body, it's like forever. It's our whole life. It's this up and down cycle of, I'm feeling amazing, I feel like shit. I hate myself, I'm gross, I'm disgusting, what happened to me? I feel amazing, and now back in it again. And sometimes the right, can last for years, and sometimes we're in an and we've been in it for a long time. Okay, and eventually it wears on us. It does. Feeling good in our body is so important, especially as women, because I think it's important for anybody, but for women especially, because this is our body, this is our vessel, this is our expression, this is how we are seen and viewed. And we were given this body not to just trash and not to just throw, ratty clothes on, but to cherish and to honor and to do all those things that the woman's body was meant to do. Okay. And how that looks for you and how it looks for me might be totally different. But as long as the intention is there, and that's when you're going to feel the best in your body. That's when you're going to have the best results with your body. So if you've been someone who has battled their body or been in this like constant up and down cycle with your body, or been trying to heal something, trying to lose weight, trying to get in shape off and on your entire life, but maybe you got there and you still didn't feel like you were there, or you got there and you were just still like so overly concerned with your body and what you were doing. And maybe you got there for a little while and you're like, oh, this feels so great. And then, something happened, shit hit the fan, and you went down the tubes. Okay. There's so many different things that can happen. If you have kids, young kids, right, that take all of your time and all of your attention, you're lucky if you even get dressed, right? I understand and understand how we can lose ourselves and lose our bodies. There's many different scenarios that this work can help with. So if you've had any body battle and are really ready to get beyond that and to be in a body that feels so good, then you've landed in the right place. Okay, because when we're talking about bodies, it's not just about the body, it's everything that comes along with that, because our body went out of whack for a reason. And the reason usually isn't just because we ate shitty food. That's usually not the reason, okay? Usually the reason is much more buried in the emotional realms, okay? Because there's a reason why we did that. There's a reason why we let ourselves go. There's a reason why we couldn't prioritize ourselves or didn't feel like we had the right to. There's a reason why we started, finding comfort in foods or drinks or depressed thoughts, right? There's a reason why those things happened. And there's a reason why we start strong and get motivated and then fall off track. And the reasons, like I said, are buried in the unconscious. They're buried in the emotional body. And it doesn't mean that you have to go back through painful experiences, but those are things there that need to be unpacked. It's weight that needs to be lifted up off of you. It's ways of thinking and ways of perceiving that need to be lifted off of you and shifted, so that your energy that might feel like it's like just spreading out now, like, oh my God, I'm just this big giant sloppy energy, because that's how the energy can feel sometimes, right? when our body just feels like meh. It feels like our energy is sloppy, and there's probably some other part of our life that's sloppy. Maybe it's our closets, maybe it's our whole house, maybe it's our car, maybe it's our relationships, maybe it's our money, right? There's some other part of our life that is sloppy also. And so there is a secret formula, there is a secret ingredient, there is a reason why, and there is a reason, a way to unravel that and bring it all back in this beautiful, unshakable, grounded, neat and tidy, organized, energetic way. And that's really what I want to share with you today on this webinar. So thank you for coming along. And we are going to go ahead and get started. And yes, there is going to be a recording of this. If you have questions or comments or anything, you can pop them in the chat and I will do my best to get to them either during this webinar or after. Okay. So I want to talk about a few different things that we're going to talk about today. And one of these is your self-concept. So when we don't feel good in our bodies, our self-concept really goes down the crapper, right? If we're really honest with ourselves, like no one's going to say, well, I don't care, because you do. And I'm going to just throw the bullshit flag on that and say, yeah, you do care. Okay. The I don't care comes from pain. It comes from the pain body. It's not really you. It's the pain, defensive, deflective pain body. All right. So yes, you do. So we can honestly say that, yeah, when I not feeling great about myself, my self-esteem goes down the crapper. And maybe you're in that spot now where your self-esteem is like, yeah, right. And the thing is, guys, if we don't get honest about where we are, we can't do anything about it. So, and we can say, you know what, I'm learning to love myself more. I'm starting to feel better about myself. I'm learning to not be so attached by the way that I look, right? Because that's not necessarily what it's about. But the truth is, I don't feel my best when my clothes don't fit right, when I just feel icky in everything that I wear, when nothing fits. I don't like the way anything feels on my body. I don't want people looking at me. I don't feel comfortable in shorts or my swimsuit, and I stay out of certain situations so people don't see my body. Not comfortable in intimate situations because I don't want to be seen. There's a million different things and a million different pieces and parts of our life that are affected when we don't feel good in our body, right? Even our career is affected because we actually won't put ourselves out there as much as we would otherwise. Okay, so this whole program is really about skyrocketing your entire self-concept. And it doesn't just happen through your body. Your body is just like the end result. It just happens. It's a bonus. It's a bonus thing that happens when we do the other inner work that I'm going to be sharing with you. So we're going to be talking about self-esteem. We're going to be talking about owning your time, right? If we are owning your time and prioritizing yourself, all right? If we don't prioritize our well-being, like your unique well-being, meaning you tune into yourself first thing in the morning and say, what do I need right now? If you don't prioritize that and honor that, you are going to be, bleeding your energy out into everything else, and you're going to have no energy left for yourself, and your body is going to start to show you. Your body is going to start to look tired. It's going to start to look what we'll call old, okay? And it's just because the vitality that is there lifting up, that chi lifting up your body, is now out in the rest of your life. It's in your money, it's in your job, it's in your career, it's in your spouse, it's in your kids, it's in your defense mechanisms, it's in your other projects, okay? And so we're going to be talking about really prioritizing ourselves, because that is a thing that we as women don't do, right? Especially if you have kids, especially if you have a needy spouse, especially if you learned that you just didn't do that. Like it was somehow greedy or bad or all those other bullshit things that we were taught to, serve other people before ourselves. That doesn't work, right? When the airplane is crashing, you put on your mask first and then you can help the other people. That makes sense. Yeah. We're going to be talking more about that. And part of this work also is it's awakening your your spiritual superpowers. And we're going to really be talking deep into this because this is such an important piece that we as women really need to play into at this time on the planet. Who is it? Dalai Lama, I think it was the Dalai Lama, said the world will be saved by the Western woman. We're really coming into the time of the divine feminine, where the divine feminine energy is rising. And yes, men and women both have divine feminine energy, But for us, it's really time for that energy to rise and for us to honor it for everything that it is. And part of that divine feminine energy is receiving and prioritizing yourself and giving yourself and meeting your own deepest needs. That's part of receiving. And most of us suck at that, right? We're like, oh, I feels too greedy to give to myself. I feel selfish. I don't want people to see how much I have. Who am I to have all that? Who am I to treat myself that good? I'm undeserving of treating myself that well. We have all these stories about it. And it's really time for that to stop. Like if you really want to get a hold of your life, because this isn't just about your body. This is about, this is about your entire life. Because I guarantee if you have body problems, you have a life problem somewhere. And this is about getting and getting control and getting a grip and being intentional and conscious about that area of your life so that everything else can play into effect. When our body goes out of whack, it's because we have sunk into the background. We stopped listening to ourselves. We are outside of our body, okay? And we cannot create a better body from that place. And this is why your efforts so far haven't worked or have not been sustainable. This is why the diets don't work. This is why the exercise don't work. The exercises maybe don't work. This is why you can't stay on track. This is why you start strong for a week and then you go back to where you started. There are seven principles that we'll talk about today, which are the key components to getting yourself back on track with yourself so that the efforts that you do take, which will come from a place of, I want to do this for myself. I want to do it for myself. This is for me, okay? It comes from a this is for me place. These are the key components that have to be in place in order for you to get all these parts and pieces of your life moving and in coherence and get you into yourself. Okay, when we talk about divine feminine, we talk about receiving, you gotta wanna do this for you, right? This is for me. This body that I'm creating, this is for me. And I'm doing it from a place of love for myself and receiving and knowing that I deserve to feel that good about myself. And I deserve to, not that even that I deserve to, but it is my duty and my right to hold this divine feminine energy and to feel good in my body, okay? That is part of being receptive, and that is your duty. You picked to come here as a woman, as a female, and this is your energy to steward, okay? And when we can steward all that, we can let that receptivity and creation play into every area of our life, right? And I'm going to be talking more about these bits and pieces. So if any of that sounds interesting to you and you're interested in really skyrocketing your self-concept and getting your life in order and making space for your dreams and getting back on track with your manifestations, then you've landed in the right place. So I hope there is some information in here that is eye-opening to you or that is inspiring to you. All right, so let's just start by tuning in. So take a breath. Close your eyes. So we're going to start with an intention, and you can call your intention a prayer. You can call it an intention. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's all the same. Okay. And this is part of, as women, as anybody really, we have these spiritual superpowers, and this is part of the divine feminine energy. Using these spiritual superpowers is the divine feminine energy. And it's your right, and it should be infused into everything that you do because you're not here to do it alone, okay? We need this energy. So let's set an intention. We're gonna say, dear universe, source, creator, God, whatever you wanna call it, it doesn't matter. Just that higher energy of your understanding. We allow ourselves to let go of what we think we need, what we've tried before, what we think we want for our life, what we think we're supposed to have in our life, and we surrender. Because if we knew what the problem was, we already would have been able to fix it. So let's just surrender into the unknown. Let's just surrender into the question. Let's just surrender into the openness, the infinite potential of the fields, the quantum fields. Let's just surrender to our higher selves and our higher understanding and our higher knowing so that we can see and hear and know what is meant for us in the space of this webinar. So that we can really come into ourselves, as women, really come into ourselves in our bodies and allow our bodies to be strong and streamlined and allow ourselves to feel safe in that body and powerful in that body and powerful in our lives. Not from a place of masculine energy and pushing, but as a grounded, calm embodiment of all that we truly are. And so we open up to the realm of miracles and we merge with the realm of the miraculous and know that maybe we don't have the answers, but that higher power does. And we're so interested in gathering information and being available for those divine downloads that are coming into our life and uplifting our vibe and uplifting our awareness. Awesome. So take a breath. And let's end in gratitude. We'll say thank you for what is going to transpire here. All right. So the first part of your body stuff. So we have a result, right? We have a result of, yes, we know what we want with our body. We know what we want with our body. We can see it. We can sense it. And maybe you can't. And we're going to get to that in a minute. The first part of this is to have a vision. Okay, we're going to go through 7 steps. And these are really the 7 steps to creating your body and feeling empowered and all those ways that you want to feel when you're in that really unique body of yours. Okay, so first we do have to have a vision, because without a vision, our body and our brain don't understand what the hell it is we're trying to achieve. Okay, our brain has one agenda based on what we've been telling it. And our conscious mind, right, our unconscious has an agenda. Our parts of our brain have an agenda, but our conscious mind is like, no, but I want this. And your brain is like, well, you've been telling me you want this from your actions, okay? Because it's the actions that actually are informing your brain what you want, right? So if you're like, no, I want to lose weight, but then you're like in the fridge, your brain's like, well, I guess you just want to eat more. All right, so let me give you more opportunities to eat more. Your brain is like a little golden retriever, okay? It's gonna do what you tell it to do. And we tell it to do things in pictures, and we tell it to do things through our mental chatter, and we tell it to do things through our actions. Our actions, when they meet in intention, becomes a neural pathway. That's dangerous, but it's also very powerful. Okay. And so if you're in a feeling state of, oh, I feel disgusting today and overwhelmed, I'm just not going to try. And then you take an action, such as now I'm going to go to the fridge, or now I'm going to skip my workout. That creates a neural pathway. All right. And so this thing, it becomes like this little prison. And then we feel eventually like we can't get out of it. And we're like, well, I'm not even going to try. I give up. However, if we have an intention, we have a vision, and we have a goal, and we know, and we're feeling it, and we're like, oh, this feels so good. And then we take action from that, oh, this feels so good place. Like, oh, it's going to feel so good to go for my walk today, or do my yoga, or get on my rebounder, or do my Pilates today. And then we do it from that place, new neural pathway forms. And eventually so many neural pathways form that you don't even have to try. Just like the other things that you don't even have to try at, right? I know you have at least one area of your life that you don't even have to try. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to talk yourself into it. You just get up and do it, okay? And maybe that's just getting up and doing house chores. Maybe that's just getting up and tending to everybody. Maybe it's just getting up and going to work. There's one area of your life where you are very dedicated and very, have things in order. But is that the most important part of your life right now? It's taking up a lot of your energy, but to you, for your own well-being, is it the most important part of your life, or is it draining you the way that you're doing it? Okay, so what if we could build neural pathways around the things that are most important to you in your life? Okay, maybe it is your well-being, and this is for you guys. You have to understand this. Yes, we have obligations, okay, but what are you giving to yourself? I hear crickets. Do you hear crickets? All right, what are you giving to yourself? This is the difference. Okay, what if we could build neural pathways around you giving to yourself and you doing the things that will just let you feel really good? So you don't even have to try. That would feel different. And a lot of us have so much resistance to that, right? Just saying that, you might feel like, oh, I don't want to have that much. I don't want to give myself that much. If you don't want to give yourself that much, how are you ever going to give yourself the body that you want? You're not. You're just not. Because it's too much feel good for you, right? If prioritizing your life around your own deepest needs, which we would want anybody that we love and care about to do, right? Yes, prioritize your life around your deepest needs, your passions, the things that make you happy, the things that are most important to you. Yes, by all means, go out and do that and be happy, because that's the only thing that's ever going to make you happy. We would want that for anyone that we truly loved and cared about. But why are you not doing it for yourself? Okay. This is a major, major hang up for people, for men and women. I've seen it on both sides. Okay. But if we aren't willing to do that, then we're actually not willing to give ourselves the joy we would feel, the feel good we would feel when it comes to being in that body that we would truly, truly love to be in. Okay. So this is like kind of the major hang up. It's this guilt or this fear around having that much feel good. All right. And this comes from, we talk about this in the program, but this comes from early paradigms in your family. And these are things that need to be resolved, because these interferences live at the level of the nervous system. And as much as we push against them, they're going to push right back at us. It's like you have one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake, and nothing's working. So we're like, screw it. Nothing's working. So I'm just going to give up. Okay. This is actually what you're pushing against. And so these are things that we have to shift in order for you to actually get the results that you want. Okay. Because if you're not letting yourself feel good in your body, again, your body isn't separate. Your whole life is interwoven and interconnected. If you're not giving yourself the joy and the freedom that you would feel in your body, I guarantee you're lacking joy and freedom in some other place in your life. Maybe your money, right? Where else in your life are you lacking joy and freedom? Okay. And for you, to just have the ideal body. Let's just go into a visual for you uniquely, having your ideal body. Just picture it. See yourself dressed the way that you want to be dressed, moving the way you want to be moving. Just feel it. Your goal, and not just like, oh, what you'll settle for, because that's BS. We don't allow that here. But what you really, really want. Okay, and what does that represent to you? Maybe it's joy, maybe it's freedom, maybe it's being seen. What is it uniquely for you? All right. Now, whatever your word was, I guarantee that word is missing, that component, that essence is missing from somewhere else in your life. Okay. And there's a very good reason why you decided that it was a good idea to keep that away. Okay. And again, this comes from early stuff that happens to us. At one time, you were experiencing this emotion, this sense of freedom or of joy or of like, look at me, I'm beautiful, I'm like celebrating myself, and you got slammed in that moment. All right. It could have been someone looking at you funny, like, who do you think you are? No, you look stupid. Or you should be embarrassed about yourself for that. You should feel ashamed for that. And it doesn't mean someone said something to you. You could have gotten a look, right? This happens usually somewhere between 0 when you're in your mother's womb and 7 years old. So you're not going to remember it. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. But in that moment, your nervous system created a glitch that said, don't experience that. You cannot have that. That is dangerous. It's going to destroy you. It's going to destroy you. Okay. And so what happens is every time you start to move in the direction of that feeling, your nervous system is like, what happened last time? Right. And will keep you at a particular kind of glass ceiling around that much joy or that much feel good or that much freedom or that much attention. Okay. And so in this work that we do, we have a process where we find and resolve, we find and resolve, we find and resolve in a very simple process that works every single time, because it's a recipe, and recipes work every single time when you follow the steps. Super easy, super fast, super life-changing. All right. That piece alone will change your life. All right. Because not only are you going to change your body, but you're going to change that other part of your life where you're experiencing the lack of this thing. Okay. It's all connected, guys. It's all connected. All right. So first we have to have a vision. So you just had your vision. You brought your vision to your awareness. If we don't have a goal, if we don't have a vision, our brain doesn't know where we're headed. Okay, so we have to have that vision, and we have to have a vision that excites us. So that's why I say you can't have a vision of, oh, I just settle for this, just settle for if I could just fit into that pair of pants or whatever, right? We have to have a vision that excites us. That's our everything. Because enthusiasm, right? If we're not enthusiastic about that goal, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do anything we're not enthusiastic about. We're going to have to, we'd have to use our sheer willpower to do it, and that doesn't work, okay? Enthusiasm, and when they do like the electromagnetic scans of the brain, it's the feeling of enthusiasm that gets the brain waves going the fastest, causes the most brain activity. So things that we can be enthusiastic about are things that are going to move us to action, okay? That's step number one. So we have to get crystal clear on our vision, all right? And we have to do this on a daily basis. It isn't just once, it's on a daily basis. I'm sorry. Running my Healy on myself here. It has to be done on a daily basis, because that vision is a different frequency than where you are right now. Because we're talking frequency too, guys. If we're trying to work from a place of, I hate myself, I'm disgusted by myself, we're not going to get anything accomplished. We're pushing against, right? We're pushing against ourselves. We have to tune into the vision, because that vision is a higher vibration. It's a higher frequency. And when we take action from that higher frequency, then we get the results, and then we're making the connections in the brain, okay? A desired result from a desired feeling with action creates a new neural pathway. If you have a desired result and you're taking it from a skewed place of a frequency that doesn't match that result of, I hate myself, swimsuit ready, there's no hookup that's going to happen. Okay, there's no neural pathway that's going to happen. So you're always going to feel like you're climbing uphill and swimming upstream and crawling yourself through mud. Doesn't work. So we have to have a vision. We have to tap into that vision and the frequency of that vision every single day, every single morning. This has to be your new come from. This is how you live your life, guys. We are manifesting a body, okay? We are manifesting a body. And because that version of you, okay, close your eyes. Bring yourself back into the awareness of that perfect body. Perfect body. And see who you are being, right? See how you're interacting with people. See how you're showing up for your life. See the things you're letting yourself do and see how it feels. And then claim this as yes, yes, this is mine. This is mine no matter what. I claim this for myself, and I won't accept anything less than this. Okay? That version of you is not the version of you that you are right now. That is a vibrationally different version of you. Okay, agreed? It's a vibrationally different version of you. And so this is why we have to tune into that vibration of us every single day, because we have to get the brain familiar with that version of us. So that becomes our new go-to. It becomes our new come from. So we're coming from that vibration rather than the vibration of, ugh, meh, whatever other noises we could make to show our distaste and dissatisfaction, okay? We have to be able to bring ourselves up in that higher vibration, because that's the version of you that takes really good care of herself. That's the version of you that doesn't even think about saying no to this and getting to bed earlier and gets up and does her workout and says yes to this and no to that and yes to this and no to that. It's a different version of you. And we have to start living as that version of us. Okay. It's going to feel a lot better too. All right. So the first step of a vision. Okay. The next key in this like sacred unlocking of your body is your belief systems and your unconscious mind. And we just talked about this. Okay. We just talked about your, the earliest kind of programming around your body, the earliest programming around expression, the earliest programming around who you get to be. All right. Do you even get to be that person that you see in that vibration, in that vision? Do you even get to be that person? So here we have to unravel those beliefs. And like I said, it's a recipe and it works every single time. The digging out, the finding, okay, I just had you find the piece, one simple piece, something you were lacking, and we clear the interference there, okay? Because our beliefs about ourselves have to be in alignment with what we are choosing, right? Just like anything else, or say our money. If we deeply have a belief that I am not allowed to have that much money because that much money would mean that I was greedy, or that I was, or I just don't believe that I'm actually deserving of that much money, right? And that might not be a conscious belief, but it's in there. And if you've been trying to stabilize your finances or maintain or grow or something and you can't, you can believe that there's some beliefs in there that are pushing against you, okay? The same thing happens with our body. And so we have a discovery process that we go through where we find out what those old beliefs are. And we find the reasons why you're sabotaging yourself. And we put that saboteur to rest, okay? Because we don't have time, and it's not a good expenditure of our energy if we are pushing against ourselves blindly and trying to go in another direction. Okay, if we're trying to do good for ourselves, but secretly there's this other saboteur part of us that's like, no, this is not a good, it's not a good use of our energy. And I invite you to call on your divine feminine or your inner queen, because that part of you is not going to be all willy-nilly with her energy, because her energy is her precious life force. It is gold. It is hers. It is her mana. And she does not have time to piss it away by not being smart enough to go in and do the work and get in alignment first, okay? You've got to call upon that part of yourself. And this is work that's integrated into all this work that we do in this program. This mindset of calling that inner queen forward is part of this process, okay? Because there are things that your queen will and will not do, right? Her yes is a yes and her no is a no. She prioritizes herself. She's not going to let herself be pulled in a million directions. She's just not going to do it. She's going to use her time wisely in things that are important to her and prioritize her time on things that are going to get the biggest results. And she's going to delegate the rest, right? Because the queen has time for everything. She has time for herself. She has time for her kids. She has time for her spouse. And she's going to use that time that she has to put towards the highest priority things so that she has time to spend on all of these places. And this is something that we do in this program, is time management from the perspective of your inner queen. All right, you've got to make yourself important. You've got to make yourself important, all right? When you start making yourself important, the rest of the world will start valuing you so much more, okay? Because the world will only value us to the extent that we're willing to value ourselves. And when we get into the intention, into the energy, then we take an action from there. And that simple action might be saying yes, or it might be saying no. We're forming a neural pathway and we're sending out a very, very strong broadcast to the universe, very strong broadcast to the universe, or we're just like, oh, please help me. Oh, I just want to get in shape, or I just need this, or I just need some help. But we're in the feeling state of helplessness. We're not sending out a very strong broadcast. This is why our prayers seem to be like unanswered sometimes, because we're not in alignment in our core, in our strength. We have to be in the place where we're honoring ourselves, and then we make a decision from there. We just make the decision. We just commit. We just commit to something. We just say yes to something. We just say no to something. We just decide to get up and do the workout. We just decide to, this is my time and I'm going to make it about me this time. We just decide to do it. And when we make that decision and that conviction from a place of alignment, we are grounding energy. And this is called energetic anchoring. We are grounding energy and creating this very strong vibration to the universe, right? And then our life, our outside reality starts to reflect that new self-concept to us, right? It's amazing, you guys. It's amazing. All right, that's the second part. So the vision, when we're talking about alignment, the vision, the beliefs, right? That inner, am I even allowed to have this kind of thing? Number 3 is self-talk. This is the third component. The self-talk. We are talking to ourselves all day, every day, and we're replaying. What we're actually doing is replaying thoughts. 80% of the thoughts that we think are recycled thoughts from yesterday. Useless. Absolutely useless. All right? Especially if you don't like where you are. If you're loving where you are, they're probably useful and beneficial. But if you're not loving where you are in any particular area of your life, then we have to catch this stuff. We have to be more intentional. Value your time so much that you're not going to waste a moment just letting your brain rattle this off while you're running around like a friggin' chicken with your head cut off, trying to like scratch things off your to-do list, being run here, being run there. That is not what a queen does. That is just not what a queen does. It's not what your divine self does. It's not what your higher self does. Okay, if the part of you that's got to value herself will own her self-talk, will own her self-talk. Okay, she's going to get in alignment. She's going to go within. She's going to see her vision. She's going to say, yes, you can. Yes, you do have the time. Yes, you are worthy of this, because the energy that you put into creating the drama of, I don't have time, you don't understand. I don't have the energy, you don't understand. The amount of energy you have put into creating that drama for yourself, you already could have been landed in an energetic anchor and gone on your way to do something that supports your well-being. Okay? This is where the dynamic inside of you has to shift, and it will shift. And I hope you're starting to feel a shift that's going to happen, that's going to change your entire life. You are getting so in control of your energy. You have to, okay? From a place of, I'm doing this for me. This is my life. This is my living. This is my life experience. And I'm going to so totally align with myself, and I'm going to honor my time, and I'm going to spend it on things that are valuable to me, and I'm not going to let myself go into the drama of creating a story about it. Okay? Your self-talk has to match and be in alignment with what it is you want to be. What it is you want to do. Okay? That I can't do it. Yes, I can do it. I might be confused about it right now, but I can do it. Okay? I might be having a bad day right now, but I can still do it. Okay? This doesn't mean not honoring where you are, but it means going deeper, digging inside yourself, and letting yourself live into your vision, and letting yourself live into your world, and saying, yes, I can say yes to myself. Like all the times you say no to yourself, like buying yourself something, you go in and say, no, I'm not going to play that story of I can't have that, or I can't afford that, or I don't deserve that. I'm not going to play into that anymore. I'm going to say yes to me. And when you start saying yes to you, the universe starts saying yes to you guys. Okay? The outside world is only a reflection of your inside world, but this is how you start to get control of your inner world and your inner realm and your inner environment. Okay? So you have to be so mindful of those times when you deflect and you play small and you pull yourself back and you respond in that way that you always respond to that person when they do that thing to you, or your kids or your spouse. Okay? We go more into that in this program. So, but that's something you can start. These are all things you can start doing now. Right? I just go much deeper into it in this program. Okay. So, number 4 is stress. All right. Stress is one of those things that can derail us like so friggin' fast. We get triggered, right? Something happens, somebody said something happens, something doesn't happen, and we're triggered. We're triggered right back to, it's like a first chakra response, which I go into that in this training. It's a first chakra response where we go right back into, walls come up, the blinds go down, the window shut, the door shut, and we are right back into self-sabotage mode, okay? So what we do is we have to catch this stuff, and we unravel those triggers, okay? Because there are 2 types of stress. There's chronic stress, which we all have, and it's a low-level stress that we've had from infancy. most 99% of people, I would say, have this chronic stress from the time they're infants, just based on your environment. We absorb the stress from our environment. Even while we're in the womb, we're absorbing the stress. We're absorbing all of these things, okay? And so in all of us, there is a chronic stress pattern that is wreaking havoc on us. And this is one of those things that keeps us spinning, okay? So if you're a person who feels like you're spinning, you're not getting traction in things, you're just spinning and you're like, go, 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 go. And it seems like you don't have time. That's a sign that you're ungrounded. That's a sign that you're not even in your body. You're up in your head. When we're just living by our to-do list and that's all we can even like, you're like, I don't know. There's no way that I have time for anything else. And you're just spinning and clawing and making no progress anywhere. That is the number one sign that you are not in your body and you're out of your first chakra. All right. So we want to deal with the past stress, the past kind of trauma-y things that you probably don't even remember. And those are going to be first chakra things because your first chakra is developing from the time you're in your mom's womb till early infancy. Okay. And there's very specific areas that we look, and it's always around safety. Okay. It's around first chakra things, first chakra survival. Am I safe? Am I going to have what I need? Can I be me? Am I welcome here? Is this version of me even accepted on this planet? It's going to be something like that. Okay. And I have a very specific discovery process that we go through to find out exactly what it is. It's super easy. You don't have to remember anything. You're not going to anyways, right? You don't have to, it's just a feeling that we'll find. And it's a recipe. It's so simple and it works every single time. And we unlock, all of us have this twisting at our core, which causes us to never actually fully ground ourselves and just let ourselves like be like, okay, I'm here and I deserve it all. Okay. We don't do that. We're like, can I like speak up a little bit? Can I raise my hand here? Is it safe to speak? Oh, let me do something for you. I'll please you. I'll be who you want me to be. I'll be happy. I'm happy. I'll do whatever you want me to do. This is the energy that we get, and it's sickening. It's so sickening, and we all have it to some degree, but it's because of this like tension at our core around who we kind of believe we had the right to be and who we didn't have the right to be. Okay, we're always trying to please our parents, always. Even if our parents are abusive, horrible people, it doesn't matter. We are always trying to please them. We're always trying to make them happy. We're always trying to get their love. And if we feel like we are not or we can't, gripping at our core, and we spend the rest of our lives gripped at our core with this like shut down kind of energy. I want to unravel that. Okay. And it's not hard. It's super, super simple, and it works every single time. All right. So we unravel the past and the current stressors. I give you the tools to manage the things that pop up in your life right now that send you spinning in your mind, that spiral you into anger, spiral you into worry, or spiral you into like frenetic, I've got to hurry up and make this happen. It's not happening. Because these are things that affect us at our core and our well-being. And a queen is not going to live her life like that. Her time is precious, and she's not going to squander it feeling like that because she has superpowers, right? She has superpowers. And we're going to tap into that in just a bit. So number 4 is the stress, okay? Number 5. We talked about alignment in action, okay? We've already kind of gone over this, but this is where the aligned action comes in. If we're taking action from a place of hating ourselves, from a place of I'm mad at myself, from a place of, oh, I just got to get this done, we're not going to get the results. We're just not going to get them. We're not going to be enthusiastic about it. We're not going to keep it up by any means because why would we do something that we're not enthusiastic about? Nobody wants to do that, right? We'll instead go for something that brings us instant gratification, which might be having a snack, going for a drive, getting a coffee, calling somebody, scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to people on social media. That's not enjoyable, but we do it anyways. We go for those like dopamine fixes. We'll go buy something. We will just distract ourselves somehow. We're not going to get results that way. We're just not going to get results with that anyway. And that is just a complete squander of your energy. And I don't think that's what you really want to do. That is not what your inner, powerful, divine, feminine self does. It's just not how she runs her life. okay? But that part of you hasn't been running your life so far. So, and that's okay because you didn't know, right? I didn't know until I started doing this work either, but I do know, and it's changed my life completely, okay? So action always has to be aligned from the vision, from the mindset, from the excitement, from the owning it, from the supportive inner chatter of yes, you can, yes, you do deserve this, let's do this. That is how you create alignment, and a powerful anchor is set in place because that is you energetically claiming it for yourself with every ounce of your body. And when you've claimed it, guys, eventually you don't have to work so hard for it. It just anchors in place. Like anything else that you have anchored in place right now, even if it's not pleasant, but you don't have to try, it just kind of stays. That's exactly where you can get with this, with living your life and with your body and with your well-being. Okay, you can get into this place and it just becomes natural. All right, so number six is embodiment. All right, and if any of you have taken any of my embodiment courses, you know a bit about this. Okay, and we've kind of been talking about this embodiment of that version of you. So whenever we are, again, getting into a particular version and feeling into that version of us, and then taking action as that version of us, we are so quickly up-leveling our vibration. We are so quickly literally changing the photon arrangement inside our body to become this vision that we have, right? If you ever read anything, you can look it up, you can Google it, the wave and particle experiments. They proved that the wave and the particle, I don't remember which is first, particle or the wave. I think the particles are just random particles out in the universe, okay? And the particles didn't change until someone put their awareness on the particles, and then the particles actually became something, okay? And they did this with like a number generator or something like that, a random number generator maybe. I don't know, look it up, the particle and wave theory. But it was just to prove that everything in space, everything in the field, the infinite field is there. The potential is there. The building materials are there. And that it's only our awareness that starts to take those particles and turn them into a thing. Okay? And so whatever you focus on is what you're creating. Yes, it is so true. It is never not true. And this work is going to help you see what you are unconsciously focused on. And it's going to so direct your energy into what you want to focus on. Okay, so we're talking about a vision, and anything that you visualize and emotionalize is what you're going to materialize rather quickly. All right, so I want to bring you through this little exercise. I want you to close your eyes and take a breath. I want you to see yourself as living in your perfect body, and I want you to see all the parts and pieces. You might even be driving a different car. Who knows? Just see what shows up. Just see what you're wearing. See how you're holding yourself. See how you're walking, and see how you're speaking and showing up. And this version of you is very different than the version of you that you are right now. This is a higher vibrational version of you. It's a version of you that is inside of you, because we're just talking about frequency. This is just another level of consciousness. And from this level of consciousness, your life is very different. And there might be parts of you that's afraid to have this different life, because this means that maybe you're going to be freer. This means you're going to walk away from people. This might mean you're going to walk away from certain situations that you're in right now. This might mean that you're going to make choices that you've been avoiding making, but now you're ready to make those choices. And maybe there's a part of you that's afraid of that. And maybe that's why you've been sabotaging yourself. These are things that we deal with in the coursework, but for the moment, just really feel yourself knowing that you can handle all of it. Feel yourself just free and just feeling so wonderful and lighthearted and free-spirited. And from this person, from this version of you, notice how you're feeding yourself. What are you eating? What are your eating habits? Just notice. From this version of you, how do you interact with people? From this version of you, what are your personal care habits? What do you do for yourself? From this version of you, what exercises feel the best in your body? How do you keep yourself streamlined? And just notice how you feel when you're doing those movements. Beautiful. Now see this version of you just out before you, maybe 30 feet in front of you. Maybe it doesn't have to be in the space you're in right now, but put yourself just in maybe this field or just in space and just see this version of you in front of you. Her vibe, her vitality, her lust for life, her essence, her strength, her power, her receptivity. And now bring this version of you closer to you and closer to you and closer to you until she's standing right in front of you. And then place this version of you right up over the top of your head. And feel and sense all her energy and begin to move this version of you right down inside your own body. And on the count of 3, you are going to merge her body, her energy, her habits, her upliftment, her understanding, her consciousness into every cell of your being. So 1, 2, 3, merge your energy, explode her energy right into every cell of your being, letting every cell of your being be upgraded, 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 upgraded with this new level of consciousness, with this new level of beingness, with this new level of everythingness. Her courage, her conviction, all of her essence magically just forming and oozing into every cell of your body, transferring and transforming every cell of your being, every place of your consciousness being updated, upgraded right now. And in this moment, make a choice. I will no longer let my stories weigh me down. I will no longer flitter about in my energy. I will no longer squander my energy. I will take care of me because I am my own queen. I will make a choice to choose me and to prioritize my deepest needs. I will make a choice to care for myself. I will make a choice to play into my vision and to live into my vision because that is the only way I'm ever going to be fulfilled. And maybe I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know that it just is because I've made a choice. And I allow this and I ground this into my new reality. Beautiful. And just take a breath. So we're playing in a very different vibration. Okay, guys? And this is always going to feel good to us. It's always going to feel good to play into a higher vibration because your body wants expansion. All of nature is expanding and all of nature is playing into its full potential. There's no part of nature that doesn't grow and be like, oh, well, this is good for me. I'm good right here. I'm good. I don't need to grow into a full, I'm just good. Nature only knows full potential. Every animal, every tree, every flower will only grow to its full potential. Okay, it has no business not. It has no business not. And the human species is the only species on the planet that does this. Okay, and just allow yourself to be done because it is your mind and the stories from the past and all the stuff that's running in the undercurrent. When we don't stop and look at it and become aware of it and say enough, that will squander our own potential. And part of that potential is in your physical expression. Everything on this planet has a physical expression, guys. Every tree does, every animal has a physical expression. We are physical, okay? It is part of who we are. And the joy of being at our highest potential in that physical expression is something that is our birthright. It doesn't make you selfish, doesn't make you arrogant. It's part of your birthright. It's part of nature. And when you get in the way of that, you're going to have problems. Your body does not like that. Your energy does not like that. Your life does not like that. It goes against the natural flow of everything. Okay, which brings us into the last component, which is our spiritual superpowers. All right. Because we have so much head trash, because we have so many stories, because we have so many habitual ways of running our energy and stopping our energy and blocking our energy and staying small and staying safe and quiet and playing it safe, right? Because we have so many habits of doing that, we don't necessarily want to spend our entire life trying to heal ourselves and unravel and unravel and unravel and unravel, right? Piece by piece by piece. There are very specific places where, yes, we do have to go very specifically into very specific places and unravel very specific places and things and heal very specific things. We definitely do have to do that, okay? But we can also, on a daily basis, surrender. And this is where we need that spiritual superpower when we don't know the answer, okay? Which is, you can call it intention, you can call it invocation, you can call it prayer. It doesn't matter what you call it, but this is part of you, okay? And for you to deny this part of you or feel like, oh, I don't want to say the word God and I have a charge to that, fine, use a different word, but use it. This energy is all around you and you cannot deny it. And if you do try to deny it, you're going to feel helpless. You're going to feel like, I've got to do things on my own. You're going to feel like I have to use my sheer willpower to make any friggin' thing in my life happen. It's so hard. Life is so hard. Okay? From that kind of backside of the model, yeah, it is hard. But that's not what you're here. That's not how you're here. You're here as spirits, okay? You're a masterpiece. You're a piece of the master, a masterpiece. You have a divine assignment. You're a piece of the puzzle. And spirit source doesn't make mistakes. You are here for a very particular reason, and that is to fulfill your full potential. And so we have to surrender every day into that. And surrender does not mean give in. It doesn't mean give up. It doesn't mean like throw your hands up and say, well, I don't know. I'm just going to continue doing what I've always done. That's where people go wrong with surrender. Like, I don't know how the money's going to come, but I'm just going to give it. I'm just going to let it go, and I'm just going to continue. But they're continuing from the mindset of, I don't know. I just don't have those things in my life. So that's the way it's going to be. They're continuing from that low vibration. What surrender actually looks like is, you know what? I want this, God, but I don't know the answer. But I'm totally open to understanding. I'm totally open to like giving up my way and what I think it's supposed to be and how I think I'm supposed to evolve and how I'm trying to make it happen. And I'm instead going to surrender to the divine download, to the divine insights, to the energy that is always here supporting me so that I can make my life easier, so that I can come into the full potential of me like you have set forth for me. And if ever we get into a place where that seems hard, we need to surrender, okay? Because that means you're in a story about it. That means you're in resistance about it, and we have to surrender. You have to notice it and say, you know what, God, I don't know how to do this. I need help today with my vibration. I need help letting go of this. I need help this. I need help that. And I don't know how it's going to look. And I don't know how it's going to happen. And I don't have the answer, but I know you do. and I'm totally open to this. Me being totally open to this with an open heart is very different than me saying, well, fuck it, and just say, I surrender, I let it go, and carry on my way. Totally different vibration. Okay, guys, we have this superpower all around us looking to help us and support us, but we have to ask for it. We have to surrender to it and allow it to come in and play its part in our life. Okay, and if you have a charge around it, I used to have a charge around it. I'm like, I don't want to use the word God because people are going to be like, oh, she's one of those people. Okay. And so I had a charge around it. So I'd always not even go there with people. But I realized that doesn't even make sense. It's like driving a car, but pretending not to be in the car. It's like driving the car, but pretending that gasoline doesn't exist and that you don't even need gasoline. It doesn't work. This energy is what animates your body. And so the more you can surrender to it and be in collaboration with it, the more your life is going to flourish. Okay. And when it comes to your body and you're like, I can't do it today. You've got to tap into this energy. Okay. You tap into your vision. You say, okay, what would feel the best for my body right now in this moment, first thing in the morning? What's going to feel best for me? And it might just be, I need to get up and stretch. I got to get up and do some breath work. I need to and clear my mind. I need to go outside and put my hands up in the air and connect with spirit. I need to tap into my vision and see myself and feel myself. It's massaging my legs, it's rolling on my ball, it's jumping on my trampoline. Listen to yourself in every moment. Okay. Keep connecting in, and pretty soon there's this energy that starts to animate you that you don't even have to try because you've so surrendered to your own divinity in your own process. All right. So this is something that we have to play into. And there's always this prayer I like to use. And it goes something like this. And we really, because like I said, when we're in a problem with our body and we're not prioritizing ourselves and we're in a struggle in some other place in our life, it means that we're not tapped in. We're not looking at the bits and pieces that I explained to you today. And somehow we're resisting, right? Because all this good stuff is coming to us all the time. Like God has universe, source, the field. It only wants the best for you. It only wants you to like surrender to the greatness so that you can fully just reach out and expand without the interference. Expansion is always the answer. Contraction and playing safe and getting small and woeing it back, that is never, ever, ever the answer. The answer is always expansion. The answer is always growing and surrendering more into love and into spirit. It's always the answer. Okay. And so this little prayer I like to use whenever I'm in a place of confusion, or I've worked myself into overwhelm or frustration about something, or I find like I'm grinding on something in my mind, right? And this is part of the stress release. So this is part of step number 4. We talk about stress, all right? When we're just like grinding on something, we're trying to figure it out and figure out our life and figure out how to fix this thing, right? We don't have the answer when we're like that. We don't even have access to the answer like that. All right. So this is a little prayer I like to use for stress. It goes something like this. So, Creator, all that you are, I need some help here. All right. I don't know the answer. I'm ready to make my life bigger. I'm ready for expansion. I'm ready to open to what you have set forth for me. So I'm willing to put my ideas of what's right and wrong out of my head. I'm willing to get rid of my ideas of what I think is meant for me and what I think is not meant for me out of my head. I'm willing to let go of what I think is wrong and what I think is right. And I'm willing to open to your understanding. And I'm willing to let go of what I think my highest potential is and what is best for me. I'm willing to let go of that because I know that you have a higher wisdom, because the wisdom that I'm accessing right now just isn't cutting it. So I'm expanding my life. I'm expanding my territory. And I don't know how, God, but I know that you do. And I'm taking all limitations off of you. I'm taking all limitations off of me. I'm taking all limitations off of our relationship. And I declare that I am coming into and ready for a shift. Do you see how expansive that feels? When you start to feel contracted, you're not going to take care of yourself. You're going to go into fight or flight, and you're going to forget everything that I told you to do. This simple little prayer opened you back up to expansion, and just like, there, I actually feel like I just surrendered that, and I am in honest, sincere anticipation and expectation of an answer that I didn't even see coming, because I know the answer is not obviously in the place I've been so friggin' focused. It's somewhere else, and I'm totally open to that right now. Doesn't that feel a lot better? Isn't it like such a better way to live your life? Like, that will make your body so happy. Your body is responding to your thoughts. Your thoughts and your feelings create chemistry. And then the chemistry creates things happening in your body with your metabolism, with your endocrine system, with your organs, with your friggin' hormones, right? And all that has an effect on the physical appearance of our body, on our skin, on our weight, on the shape of our body. It all really comes back to our thoughts, okay? And so part of this program is not just these deep dive things, like this is like the meat and potatoes of the program, but the rest of it is, yes, it is the exercises, okay? Because what I wanted to give to you is every day we're gonna bring ourselves into this energy together, okay? You're gonna have your own daily ritual. As you can see how important that is to pull yourself into your inner queen and say, no, this is for me. I'm gonna prioritize my well-being, and I'm going to take that break. Even though I have 8,000 things to do, I'm going to take a break because I feel like I need it right now, right? When you're prioritizing yourself and you're pulling in your inner queen and you're tuning into the energy and you're visualizing and you're feeling it as you're now and you're living it as you're now, things start to shift so quickly. But I wanted to, when we're in that energy, then give you the workouts that I know work so fast, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to fine tune and tone and slim your body, because that is, yes, we want to get a hold of our life, and we are doing that, and it's such a big part of this program. But the other part, yes, it is the movement, and it is the breath work, okay? Because the breath and the movement pull these intentions and pull the ideas and pull the feelings. It integrates and weaves them into the physical body, and that's part of embodiment, okay? We can have the ideas, yes, and see the visions, but it's really about embodiment, because the energy has to come into the physical body. Everything that exists in your body also exists out in your life, and we hold a lot of shit inside the body, old emotions, old traumas, old like tension patterns, and that is showing up in our life somewhere, okay? So it is so important to then manifest this into the body so that you are the living, breathing, speaking piece, physical piece of this energy that you're cultivating, okay? So it's not just something that you're tapping into and like, oh, there it is, and then I'm in my body and now I'm not there. No, you embody it inside your body, okay? And this is kind of the missing piece also of manifestation is getting it inside your body. So what I've created is, and we're here for 30 days, guys, 4 weeks we're doing this. We're going to change. You're not going to be the same person. You're going to look back at yourself and you're going to be like, who the hell is that? You're going to look back and say, I don't even know who I was then. I can't believe I was living inside this giant prison when really the door has been wide open all the time. If I just like took the time to get the help sooner, to unravel and organize and streamline and align and stack up like this cosmic tumbler that just opens me up to my full potential. But I wanted to give you the workouts in it. They're Pilates and bar-based workouts, which I love because they work so quickly and we do it together. And I'm there to get you motivated and move you beyond what you thought you could do. And most of these are under 30 minutes because we don't need to go crazy long. It's because we're going to intend that we get the fastest results in our body with the smallest amount of time. Okay, we're going to intend that because we can pick and choose, guys. We can intend whatever we'd like to intend. Okay, but our body needs anchoring. We need to anchor that energy inside of our body. And really work to move the muscles. And when we're visualizing and we're moving our body, your body is going to respond so quickly to this movement that we're doing, okay? So part of this program also, so we have the movement and we also have the breath work, all right? The breath work will reset your endocrine system. It resets the pulsations of the pituitary and the pineal. And when the we go from like this kind of like skewy, not even, you know, synced up pulsation in the brain. We have one eye over here and then one eye down here, and we're not sure what we're doing, and we're just that running around like a chicken with our head cut off, not knowing which end is up. Okay, we cannot squander our energy like that anymore. We intentionally sync up. We sync up the hemispheres of the brain. We sync up the breath. We're syncing up the nervous system. We're resetting the nervous system and the hormonal system, the metabolic system. We're resetting all of that. And simply by doing the breath work is going to change the way you think. All right, because your thoughts have skewed the pulsation of your body. And if we could measure it, it would be pretty freaking funky right now, I guarantee it. So just by resyncing the systems up with the breath, we start to think different, because there is a set point in your brain where you are in your big eye and you're focused on it, and you're able to feel your own wants and your own needs and your own desires. When those pulsations go out of rhythm because we've been in stress for so long, we don't have access to that. It's very hard to stay focused on that stuff, okay? And the people who are like, I don't know what I want, this is the problem. So the breath is such an important part, and it's woven into the workouts. It's between 3 and 6 minutes. It's so simple, but it will change your life. And one of the bonuses of the breath work is it really makes your skin glow. Your skin glow, it makes your hair healthy. It makes your face lifted. There are so many benefits of the breath work, specific breath work sets that I'm going to share with you. And these are from the Kundalini practice, which is an entire technology of changing the inner realms of the body, but it is about anchoring all that inside of the body. And that's it. So I want you to close your eyes for a moment. And I just want you to take in and receive everything that I have shared with you today. And I just want you to tune into the vibration of that, of your inner queen, and just call her forth again. And I just want you to see what it feels like when you tell yourself, you make the choice that I'm going to listen to my deepest needs. And like right now in this moment, just tune into that, a need that you have right now for in this moment. And it can be something so simple like, I need some water. I need to ground. I need to just sit in the quiet. I need to just breathe. I just need to connect spirit. I just need to let go. And we'll call upon that inner queen, and we'll just ask her to come forth and help us make decisions that are aligned with us. Help us, please, or say, help me, please, prioritize myself. And make a choice that I see that I've been squandering my energy. I see that I've been just wasting my energy in a way that's not really getting me anywhere. And I see that maybe I haven't been playing into my biggest self. And I see that whatever's happening in my body is a reflection of what I've been doing with my energy. And I'm really interested in changing that. I'm really interested in getting organized with my energy, getting purposeful with my energy. And I welcome the divine feminine into my life, and I welcome my own divine feminine into my life as a sacred gift, an elixir, so to speak, to enlighten my body and nurture my body and invigorate and bring youth to my body and my mind and my intentions and to my visions. I know that I was given a mission. I know that I have a higher purpose, and I am so interested in fulfilling that. I'm so interested in surrendering to that. I'm so interested in playing a bigger game. And I know that everything that's happening in my body right now is probably my own resistance to playing a bigger game. And I totally honor that. I totally honor that. But I do believe with all my heart that playing small and using my own life force to keep myself down is not even the best way to use this sacred life force that I've been given. And I don't believe that's what it was intended for, to hold myself back. And so I'm ready to make a shift. I don't know how, but I'm ready to. I'm really ready to step into this version, this vision of my physical body, and give myself this freedom, and give myself this release, and give myself this movement in my life. I'm totally ready for that. I'm totally ready for the journey that awaits me and the new horizons that await me after that. And even if I'm a little scared, that's okay. Because I know that I have the support. Because this is what I was made for. And I'm totally, absolutely ready for this. And I'm willing to say yes to me, even if I don't know how to say yes to me. Yes, in the past, I've abandoned myself. I've abandoned my wants. I've abandoned my needs. I've abandoned my dreams. But I'm not willing to do that anymore. And I wouldn't expect anybody else to. And I'm no different. I'm just not willing to do that anymore. So I'm ready to claim myself and prioritize myself and my well-being. I'm ready to prioritize myself and my well-being, to be an example for other people and for other women to know that they can too. It's time. And just take a breath. And first, thank you for coming on here with me, but I would, if you would love to go deeper into this vibration, if you'd love to stay playing in this energy and playing into this energy, then I truly, with all my heart, invite you to join my new program, which is a 30-day transformation of not just your body, but obviously there's a deep transformation that's happening in your body is like the final expression of that. And if you would like that body to match that person that you really are, with that incredible self-esteem, because you're loving up yourself, you're prioritizing yourself, and your life is arranged, and you're on track with your goals, and you've got ownership of your time, you've got ownership of your life, and being that example. If you are so ready for that, and it sounds like it's just what you need, then I totally invite you to join me in this program, because it's going to be amazing. It's the combination of Unleash for Your Self-Esteem, which is another program I offer, but it's a combination of that and the physical aspect, the 21-day Dancer Leg program that I taught. It's like a merging of those two programs. It's like two programs in one, and I'm so excited to offer it to you, because it is a rising of an energy, and to do it together is going to be just profound. And we do need help with this, guys. This is vibration. It's a vibration that we're tuning into. It's a group energy that you're tuning into. It's my energy. It's my high vibration that you can lean into. And that's what's built into this program, is those vibrational anchor points that you can keep playing into it and spreading out and expanding into it, like your soul is longing to do. And the work works, and it works fast when you do it and you make it your priority, which you will, because I will show you how. Okay. So this program is $9.97, and you can do that in a two-pay. But if you sign up today is the first. If you sign up today, I give you, I reward people who take action and listen to their inner yes. It's $6.97. Okay. And that's just for today. It's just for the first. And this program actually starts next Wednesday. So it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. And I want you to listen. If you're like, oh, don't have the money for that. Can I tell you how many times I did that to myself and I lost out? There are so many programs that I so like felt like, oh, this is for me. This is what I need. This is going to change me. This is even going to change my money. This is going to change everything. But I didn't trust the universe enough to say yes to myself. And the times that I did, and I said yes to myself. I don't know how the money is going to come, but I'm going to say yes to myself. And I created that grounding. The money came, the money showed up because it came from a place of alignment. Okay. It came from a place of alignment. I was so tuned into me and what I needed for my growth. And I was tuned into the vibration of the program, and I was anchored into the energy of the program. And in that place, I said yes. And the universe said yes back because I created such a strong vibrational anchoring and alignment from a place of feeling and intention and intentional yes from me. All right. If I said no, then that meant I was saying yes to my stories of I don't have enough money. And one of my commitments was to never, ever, ever say that again. And I called forth my inner queen. And the inner queen, it says, we don't use that in here. There is always a way. There's always a way. My inner queen said, there's always a way, and we don't use those words in here of I can't afford it. This isn't for me. Maybe next. We don't use that. That's not being in your queenness, and that's not how your life is going to happen. And that's exactly the pattern that gets us all snarled up, not happy, living the same limited life year after year after year after year. And I say that with the utmost respect because I did it to myself. I did it both ways. And saying yes, Queen will always say yes to her yes. And she trusts in her spiritual superpowers to connect and say, I don't know how it's going to happen, but this is for me. And I need this for me. All right. And there is no waiting. There's no waiting, guys. Okay. The time is now. The time is imminent. The time is now. I don't know when I'm going to offer this again. So the time is now. All right. So just listen to those stories. I take everything that I shared with you today and listen to your stories. And how much are you owning your space and really anchoring in, especially around money. I know I had the same hangups around money, and it served me no good to keep saying no to myself because I was saying yes to my stories instead. All right, this is the problem. And we work with so much of that in this program, and this is life changing. If you need a different payment plan, reach out. We can see what we can do to make it work. All right, guys. So please do say yes to your yes. I hope that you'll join me. As you can see, this is like no other weight loss program before you've ever seen. We're losing a lot of energetic weight. All right. Yes, part of this program, someone just sent to me, the bonuses. There is a bonus here. There are a couple bonuses here. We're going to be doing some really deep, profound group energy healing sessions. So this is quantum high frequency energy that can literally start to melt veils out of the body, veils and layers of resistance that we didn't even know were there out of the body. I'm very excited to offer these. I offer these to my private clients, my one-on-one people who are doing one-on-one coaching with absolutely amazing, miraculous results. So I'm excited to share that with you guys too. That's going to be we're going to be doing a handful of those, maybe once a week. So the program consists of, there's going to be 2 calls a week at different times. And then you're going to have your homework, you're going to have your workouts. All right. So you are fully committed to this. And if you're like, well, I don't have the time, what are you giving your time to? We had this conversation already. What are you prioritizing? And I guarantee that what you're prioritizing is not your well-being. And the time that you're taking into putting in the drama around the story of, you don't understand, I have bills to pay, I do too. Okay. And if I don't prioritize my well-being, then nothing gets done. Okay. You have to understand that when you prioritize your well-being, your personal value expands. When your personal value expands, different opportunities show up for you. So if you're in a money struggle right now, you're in a kid struggle right now, that feels like contraction, right? When your personal self-worth goes up, like your real self-worth goes up because you're prioritizing yourself and listening to yourself and saying yes to yourself, whether it's for a walk, whether it's for water, whether it's for a nap, whether it's for a workout, your whole world opens up. Your level of receiving, your level of deservedness goes up, opportunities show up, new levels of of insight show up. Everything expands in relation to our sense of deserving, guys. This affects every level of our being. All right. So I'm calling you forth lovingly to look at these areas of our life, of your life. Okay. And be honest with yourself. Because this is how we change this stuff. And I know this is pretty deep stuff, and some of it seems like, but this is what true growth is. This is what true change. This is how true change happens. When we have the awareness, then we can make the choice. Otherwise, we're just blindly living into this story and squandering our energy. Okay. And part of you knows that. Okay. So does anyone have any questions before we conclude today? Okay, so the videos, the workout videos, they're all pre-recorded. So loud out there. So you can do them in your own time. No, we're not meeting live for 30 days to do workouts together. These are pre-recorded, and they will be in a membership area, which you will have a password to. You log on day 1 through 30, and you click day 1. Okay, and you do the first workout, the initiation, and then you'll get your emails for the Zoom links each week so that we can go through those parts and pieces. One will be a Q&A too for questions and things like that. All right, and the rest will be working through the material that we have to work through. And we meet twice a week because I want to hold you guys accountable. Okay, I want you to hold yourselves accountable. But I find if we don't meet on a very consistent basis, we're like, oh, but I had to go do this, I had to go do that. I'm not going to let you do that. All right, I'm not going to let you do that because you're not going to change that way. And that's my job as a coach, to anchor the energy for you. All right, this is how we get results. This is why this work is so powerful. So I invite you to lean in and play in this energy. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you are wondering, yes, but no, but yes, but no, just reach out. Let's chop on the phone and I can help you make a crystal clear decision. Whether it's yes or no, it doesn't matter to me. But I want you to feel good about the decision that you make. So you're not saying no and being like, oh, but I really wish I could have done it. I want you to have a crystal clear yes and a crystal clear no. All right. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I hope to see you soon. And I will talk to you all soon. Much love. Bye.